What's going on, y'all? Bringing you greetings right here from Bringing Lyrics to Life, where we have a good time talking about good music. Listen, we doing it big. We didn't say too much. We've been trying to stay a little low, but it seems like the demand has been extremely high. So, just want to say congrats to the team of Bringing Lyrics to Life. We are now on other major media platforms such as iHeartRadio and Google Podcasts. In addition to that, Google has acknowledged Bringing Lyrics to Life, dang, can't even talk, as an official business. So, and they have sent us some goodies and some congrats. So, we just doing what we can do and trying to do what we do and do it best as we can. So right here we got Bringing Lyrics to Life. Shout out to my co-host Naya. What's up with you?
Hey y'all.
We got special guests on here. Special guest co-hosts. We got one of the greatest artists in the world, Jhalil Seabron, right here.
Oh, you are too kind.
And we also have tonight our host or guest. Sorry, our guest interview for tonight. Holding it down, representing his city from Philadelphia. We got my boy Jhalil in the house.
Yo.
What's going on with you?
Chilling, bro.
Listen, shout outs to the live studio audience on tonight. What's up, Lily?
Hey girl, hey.
What's going on, Lee?
I'm good.
She in here chilling with us tonight, holding it down. We appreciate you. Shout outs to our audience, our fans, our support base. We appreciate you. We are live tonight, streaming from Facebook and also Podbean. You know, you can catch our replays here on Facebook, Podbean, but you can also catch us now on the following major media streams and outlets.
And you'll be back later.
Huh? What you say?
I said yes, and you'll be back later.
iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean, and Anchor FM. So we appreciate y'all. Listen, keep it going. So we're gonna do what we do. We got the instrumentalist and the psalmist right here holding it down, and we're gonna go and jump into these lyrics. Now hit us with it.
I don't know if it's the smell of your fragrance or how soft your hands really are. The way that your love showers over me, or that you came from, your love is like a river. I want to be where you are.
So y'all know how we do it. We take these lyrics, we unpack them one by one. But let's start with this. Jhalil, what's up with you, bro? Because he got a lot going on. He does a lot. Always got a lot going on.
Wait, so Snort was not sexy.
What's the lyrics? I'm sorry.
What's that? Questions from the live studio audience already interrupting the broadcast.
I'm sorry, I was listening to what you said. Who is this? Like a love song or?
It's to Jesus.
Yeah.
From what I read.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. All right.
So what's going on with you, man? You done was heavy in music, still heavy in music, right?
Yeah.
Taking over the city of Philadelphia with Kingdom Builders, cleaning up the city.
Trying, man.
Got the family going now,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, he a daddy now.
Right.
Him a daddy now.
Congrats.
Him a daddy. Still writing, still playing, still gigging, still putting on events, still just doing it all.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's talk about this song? What brought this song about? Where did it come from? Where were you when you wrote it?
Actually, a real rough place. I believe I had just lost my grandfather. And I, at that, my grandfather raised me. So my mom died when I was young. Grandma and grandpa kind of took on, the hat. And then, my grandma passed away. Then my grandpa passed away. Nonetheless, I moved out. End up living with somebody, I really, really thought I could, trust. I mean, it started out that way. It was real cool, you know what I mean? Then things kind of just went left. And I was there, trying to find a job, trying to, just find stability outside of, playing and church and things like that. And then one day, it really started out, I want to say, I want to be where you are was first, and that was really just seeking God, you know what I mean? That was really just trying to get in his presence, trying to love myself more, trying to, just adapt to the environment that I was in, I think it's Paul who says, whatever state I'm in, to, learn to be content, that type of thing. So that's where I was, and it wasn't an easy place, you know what I mean? It was rough. And so that part came first, and then after that, I'm walking to, at the time, my organist's crib, who lived right around the corner from me, and as I'm walking up the steps to let him hear the first part, the verse came. I don't know if it's the smell of the fragrance, how soft your hands really are. Could it be the way that your love showers over me, or that you came from above? Pretty much talking about Jesus, and the fragrance thing. That might be a line that's whole, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But when you think about it, just in the presence of God, you get so many different, your senses just kind of go crazy, in my opinion, you know what I mean? And, you just got so many things coming at you. So the fragrance thing was kind of just the line that came, so I put it in, you know what I mean? It wasn't a second thought.
So I just put it in.
Yeah, I mean,
just so you know.
No, I mean, because I've gotten that before, but it's really just I don't know if you guys write for the most part with songs, things just kind of, you could be anywhere doing anything.
Right.
That joint just hits you.
Just a download.
When it hits you, you got to just catch it.
Right.
And so that's kind of, the basis of the song, just saying in your presence, there's just, so much. And at the end of the day, that's kind of what stuck out to me.
Have you ever smelled Jesus?
I haven't. But
I'm being funny. I've heard people say they've smelled the fragrance. I have not, but I have heard that. I have.
I mean, even if you go to the frankincense and the myrrh and all that, all those things, that kind of might give you, a hint of his scent, maybe. But I don't know. It just came that way, and I choose not to argue with what God gives me.
Come on.
You know what I mean? So
Sometimes you just need to complete the bar, huh?
yeah,
Get something that rhymes. That's how it be when I write. Shoot.
yeah. Yo, wow.
Let me ask you this. So with writing this song, right, and you can tell it came from an emotional place. When writing it, how did you balance the focus of remembering the lyric and writing it, and addressing the actual emotion behind it?
Truthfully, bro, like I said, it just came to me, and it just came to me. You know what I mean? Like, balancing it. I mean, I honestly, I kind of have a hard time with balancing stuff because a lot of the times, like, I'm thinking of so much stuff, or I've got, like, a bunch of tunes in my head, and they kind of just be flowing together. Like, I wrote one song called Incredible God, and when I did it, or when it came to me here in Philly, I introduced it to the singers, but then when I moved and went down south and, you know, met some new singers, it was like I was able to fuse two songs together. So that balance is like, I want to say just like believing in what it was that you feel like God gave you and where it came from, and just being confident in that.
Now, you still, how many groups you got?
Nah.
Because you used to have like 20 different groups. You was managing people. You was working with people.
All
you was doing all kinds of.
All shade.
That's not shade. No, I'm just not.
Ain't no sun in this room.
That's not shade. That's acclimates, man. I mean, this guy. If any you listen. If anything was happening in Philly, Jhalil had his print on it. Whether he wrote it, whether he played on it, whether he taught the singers, whether he everything that happens in the city of Philadelphia, this man had his stamp on it. So that's a legitimate question. That's accolades. Ain't no shade.
Legit can be. You can be legitimately shady.
Ain't nobody being shady, bro.
You could definitely be legitimately serious.
Ain't nobody being shady.
That's a bar, though.
Truth be told, bro. Truth be told, I only had like one set of singers. You know what I'm saying? Well, I had a bunch of set of singers, but it was all under one name. And then, like, you know, like, going with singers is rough.
Yes, it is.
You know what I'm saying? Because people, you know, I don't know if it's ego, I don't know if it's pride, I don't know if it's, you know, attitude or what, but like, people want to hop on what's hot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I guess after, you know, for the most part,
the hype dies down.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Then they kind of shift on, and like, to me, that's not really ministry. But nonetheless, at the end of the day, you know, it is what it is. You got who you got. You got your solid core. You got your solid people, and you know, I pretty much just, you know, rocked out with them. Thank God for those guys.
Yeah, that's what's up. All right, hit us with the next one.
Yeah, the chorus. Lord, I hear your voice when in the midnight hour. I can see your smile when the sun is shining. I can see you next to me when the winds just keep on blowing. I want to be where you are.
So, Lord, I hear your voice in the midnight hour. Lord, I see your smile when the sun is shining. Lord, I feel you next to me when the wind just keeps on blowing. Then it goes into I want to be where you are. But nonetheless, I mean, that's all the same. I don't know. You know, people got that quote right now where it's like kissed by God or kissed by the sun or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
You know
how when people...
I live underground.
Just melanin. Just talking about melanin.
Yeah, and then when people be taking certain pictures and the light hit them just the right way and they be like sun-kissed, kissed by the sun.
It was really just like,
burnt.
You know, burnt. I mean, yeah, truth be told, these songs are like, this song in particular is probably like 6 or 7 years old. And so that phrasing was really just like trying to mix in, you know, your senses with, I guess, the divinity of God, like, you know,
making that connection.
Yeah.
Okay. What all instruments
do I play?
Was in? No, well, we gonna go to that. But in the song, what was the arrangement for it?
Initially, I feel like I have more like a CCM vibe. Mm-hmm. So, you know, guitars, keys, of course, drums, bass. I try to center my songs around like more of just a worshipy flow. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, that's just kind of where I'm at with music. I mean, I like the hardcore, and I'll kind of even try to go a little rockish. not rockish, but like hard guitar, heavy guitars.
Yeah.
But for the most part, just strings, real melodic, real orchestrated type of feel.
Did you play on this track?
I did not.
Okay.
Actually, my a good friend of mine who I met through my Uncle Kevin Pringle, George Williams. He played all of that. All of that from people go, yo, is that live? Was it really on drums? Was it really like no? It was all like keys, all production. Yeah. He's phenomenal.
And what all do you play?
I play keys primarily.
Right.
I ventured off into like guitar kind of sort of a couple years ago. I really don't think I'm the ball on that yet at all. I can play what I want to, what I'm writing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And of course that's always like the first stage. I started out on drums actually, but that wasn't.
Everybody does.
Right. That wasn't my jam. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a bad jam.
They got 7 drummers in the church. Nobody on the organ, but we got 7 drummers sitting in the line waiting to play.
Yeah.
Annoying.
Yeah.
I actually started on horns first.
Praise him.
Well,
I went from horns and then went to drums.
I ain't never heard about your horn life. We can talk about that later.
High Sanders, cymbals, and horns. Gotcha.
Yeah, I started with horns. That's where the heart is for me, especially the sax.
I ain't never heard about this.
I heard about that story though.
And I even told you that I wanted to play sax, but my mom said it would take too much air out of my head, and you never once mentioned that you played the saxophone.
Yeah, I started with did I start clarinet or trumpet first?
I'm gonna need you to know.
I think
I'm gonna need you to.
I think I started.
So you played clarinet, trumpet, and saxophone?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Bro, we've been best friends for like 9 years. This is troubling. What else are you hiding?
You should have seen when he was super small carrying around this huge instrument.
Yeah.
Can I tell you that's why I stopped playing the violin? I didn't want to be at the bus stop with the violin. I'm not even lying.
I don't blame you.
No, so actually, right.
Right.
I started with something else.
It was a huge thing.
Because they didn't.
You would be like lugging it around.
Yeah, I started with.
clarinet.
No, I
that
started
sounds
that small.
Yeah, that sounds like
I
a
started
trombone.
with something else. I think it wasn't the trombone, but it was in that family because
He's been all through that family. Huh? Touched everything.
they didn't have. I
And he
couldn't.
got screamed on because he kept changing the instrument.
Right. They didn't have clarinet ready. I wanted to start clarinet. I could. They was all done with clarinets, so I had to start with something else. It was something bigger than me. You right? Because I remember, especially in the winter, trying to drag that thing around. Then I went to trumpet because it was smaller than whatever I used to have.
Yeah, I remember that first transition. You said, I just wanted to carry something lighter.
Yeah. Then I went to trumpet, and then it wasn't until a couple of years later I was able to get clarinet. Yeah.
You got clarity in the clarinet. Good job.
Wordplay, I love it. On the spot.
Shout outs to our listening audience. Sean Hardy, how are you on? This guy's supposed to be gigging right now. What are you doing? We appreciate it. Is it over? I'm sure, but you should be tired, bro. I'm sure y'all went up in that place.
I said that's real support.
Yeah, Sean Hardy is a phenomenal artist that we'll be bringing to the show very, very soon. Very soon. Very, very, very soon. Yo, Moses Griffin, what's going on with you, bro? Appreciate the support. So we got this song. You know what I like about worship is
What do you like?
it's more of a personal reflection of your relationship
Sometimes.
with God. For most people, for the people who not
Doing a dramatic drama
who's not playing,
performance.
yeah. The
Correct.
people who are intimate, you know what I
Correct.
mean, with their worship. And you can see and hear the intimacy in these lyrics. I mean, the title alone, Where You Are, most people be like, God, I want you to be where I am, not I want to be where you are.
As long as we meet, I don't care whether you come to where I am, I go to where you are. Just call, let us meet.
Yeah. And I think that's an identification in worship. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we're selfish like that. Like, God show up. Nah, you should be bringing him with you anyway.
Facts.
So you shouldn't be trying to wait for him to show up or begging for him to show up.
Child, church is a Ouija board thing. Let's conjure him up. Don't nobody bring him. Let's conjure him up. Let's call his name, huh?
That's crazy.
Everybody put your hand on this.
Oh, snizzy. What a metaphor.
So when writing this, right?
Mhm.
And so usually I ask this question, but you being a musician and a writer is probably different. I don't know. But what do you usually hear first? Do you hear the music first, or do you hear the lyrics first,
Truth be
or
told,
is it balanced?
Everything.
Yeah,
I hear everything.
all at one time.
Yeah.
I would lose my mind.
That's what I'm telling you. The unbalancedness, like the unbalanced balance is retarded.
Right,
Like,
right.
You hear going from like just everything, bro. Like keys, it never starts out with the primary joint. It's intros, it's outros, it's interludes,
Right,
it's
right.
backgrounds. It's you know what I mean. Like truth be told, I personally, bro, did not like. I was like 21, and I could not sing. Like at all all I could do was play, and I'm hanging with my bros or whatever after we did a funeral, and they could sing, and I'm like, bro, like I think I want to do that, like I think I want to try it out, and they laughed, like legit laughed, like bro, don't do it. I'm like, every time I got with them, I'm like, yo, give me a run, and they give me a run, and I'll try it. I mean, next time,
that ain't you.
Just on and off, and then like 2 years later, it was a rap. It was Jhalil Seabron and JC with the group, and it was
Right.
like, yo, I want to sing with you, or yo, can you come? And it was like, all right, guy, like that taught me like anything that I ever want to do, you know what I mean? And I try to like, if I never learned anything else out of it, like share that with people, like if like just keep doing it, you know what I mean? Just keep doing it, just keep believing, like keep thinking you can, even if everybody's telling you can't. Keep practicing. Just keep going. You know what I mean? Keep moving forward. And here we are on the radio station doing interviews. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and whether that's personal connection or whether that's actual gifting or divine intervention, whatever like you want to call it. Like just keep going. Keep believing.
You've been in music how long?
Man, I've been playing since I was like 8.
Well, how old are you?
I'm 31 now.
All right.
Yeah. So,
So you definitely stuck with it.
Yeah. Even when I tried to like, I'm chill, or hey, you can, I'm cool, or you know what I mean? All of that, like, it's I don't know. It's just a thing.
What's the what's the next move? What's the next project? What's the next release?
I'm actually working on the album now.
Okay.
All right.
Working on the album is, as you know, a strenuous process.
Oh
You know
yes.
what I'm saying? I'm family and all, still not getting in the crib till like 1, 2, 3, just trying to like lock it in and like be solid in the places that I go to actually get the sound that I'm trying to get. But yeah,
Are you one of those go in the studio and let's figure out what we're going to do? Do you do that?
Nah.
Oh, all right.
Everything that that we're working on, like I said, like just like that, John, has been pretty much ready for like the last couple of years. It's just placement, it's people, it's timing. Like truth be told, I love the record, but I hate the quality of it, and so that plays a major part in like. But at the time, it was like, yo, put it out.
No, that mixing is everything.
Yeah, and so I don't know if it was a rush job between my man, or if he just had a lot going on, or if he just thought that was it. You know what I mean? Like
shout out to the producers and engineers.
like real talk. I don't even know if it was like I'll mix it. I'm just going. I put so much energy in doing the record.
Right.
You know what I mean? When it came around to mixing, I'm not sure if it was just transition, but nonetheless, I mean that's my boy, love me to death, George Williams. You know what I'm saying?
Then you named it.
I got to because
Not after you say that,
no.
Now can we talk about shit?
No. Yo, listen, this is love. Like
it is though. And you got to give people their respect.
Like I said, he played every.
You do.
He played.
I wouldn't feel the love.
Listen,
I wouldn't feel no love.
it's cool. Yo, he did every instrument. You know what I'm saying? He's multi talented. Like he sings, he writes himself, all of that. But
what he heard, Because you know how
ears are different.
And I was going to say that
man.
To throw some bail, like when you in the
Bail.
studio, when you in the studio, it sounds different than when you send it out.
Yeah.
It does. It depends on what you playing it on and all types of stuff. So just to shoot
right,
some
because
bail.
I love the people who send you a track and they be like, put headphones on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But like, oh, I heard all the instruments. What happened when you unplugged the
How
Jones?
about
Like,
it?
what
How
in the
about
world?
it?
It's funny though that you said that because there's another podcast that I'm a part of with School of Light Church, and we were talking about identity on that show. And the gentleman Sean Hardy, who is an artist, he was on there. I ain't gonna give too much away, but one of the things that he was saying was there's a specific song that he has out. He did not mix it on purpose. He said he wanted everybody to hear the raw, the pain, the breaths. Like he wanted everybody to catch it. And I've thought that was so dangerously dope. You know what I'm saying? Because usually when you working
I
in
agree
music,
with the
you're
first
looking
D.
dangerous. Yeah, because usually when working in music, you're looking for that sound, you're looking for that level of professionalism. So you're like, you can definitely, when you listen to it, you be like, yeah, that joint ain't mixed.
Right.
I remember when I had this song. It actually was very popular. I haven't redone it. But when somebody who was in the industry listened to it, he was like, I played it for my homies, but they was like, we can hear her breathing. Like, they stopped it after like 10 seconds. If your stuff ain't mixed right, industry heads, like, they don't got no love for that. So that's why I was like, I agree with the first D. The second one, I can't put my stamp on that. That joint is so dangerous to do. Dangerous is the word.
Yeah, and for sure, like I put that joint out, knowing the quality was like, and I really, it was to the point where it was like people were looking for something. So I kind of allowed the outside pressure, but at the same time, it's like, yo, you're working. Like this process is just that, like a process. And
right.
It has steps, and like, why not share those steps with people?
Let me tell you something about this pressure people put on you.
I'm gonna tell you this. I was gonna let one of y'all.
I'm gonna tell you about this story I told Christian. Somebody hit me up and they was like, because I had posted something, I guess about the single I'm getting ready to put out, and they were like, "Well, where's the album?" And I said, I want to create a certain buzz that I'm building on by the time we get to the album. I said, but I found that most people who ask for my album couldn't even tell me my last single.
Right.
So I don't let nobody press me into, because half of them is just lip service.
Right.
It's just talking. You couldn't sing me one line from the last thing I put out, so you ain't really supporting. You just want to talk about stuff. So I don't let them people pressure you into nothing.
Well,
because they the same ones that if they don't like it, they'll be conversating about it. Did you hear that? Go listen to that. Don't buy it. Just go ahead and listen to it off the Apple Music joint. No, we're not doing that.
I mean, I also think, like I said, that was 2016, and
well, this was 2020 when somebody asked me, and I sure started to ask them. So, what was my last single? Just say the title.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I won't put it on the pressure of the outside, but I will say that probably had something to do with me wanting to pursue, like,
sometimes you need to feel productive.
Yeah, and I mean, great joint though. Like, I mean, I definitely like the song. I mean, and it's definitely coming out better.
Sitting here, it sounded good to me. Sitting here, I didn't get to hear it before I got here, but sitting here in this, I liked it. Personally, I thought it sounded good, but I ain't gonna lie, headphones do tell a different story. That is the truth. But it sounded good to me sitting here.
Sure, I appreciate that.
So are you going to go back and touch it, or are you going to leave it where it is?
Nah, recreate.
That's a dumb question. I just know who you are. But here's the thing. I also know who you are. You're going to go back, you're going to touch it, and it's going to have a whole new sound, bro. I already know it.
You know what's crazy? You're absolutely correct.
I know. So why don't you call it Where You Are Part 2 or something, so people can differentiate.
It'll be like Where You Are Live or something like that.
Okay.
Because the whole feel for this album is like in your face, even though we got pandemic going on and people can't really get together and all of that. Like,
right.
It'll still have like that. I'm right here. Like, we're right here.
So with that, right, is a perfect segue. So with Corona, right? So now you've been limited to doing the Friday night joints, right? Are you gonna bring them back? Are you going a new direction? You gonna do a virtual thing? What we doing?
I'm looking at the virtual joint,
Okay.
but I'm in your face, yo. Like I want to see you. You know
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I mean? I want you to see us.
You're going to be waiting a second.
Yeah. Well, so we've been waiting long enough. It's almost 6 months in, going on the end of the year. Like so,
Keep folk alive.
so I'm thinking more like maybe I had a conversation about some property, like just like a regular lot. You know what I mean?
Come on.
Okay.
So I'm thinking I might even just grab that John and then just do outside.
Do outside. That's what's up.
That's kind of where I'm at. I'm still being led, and whatever happens. But it'll be something coming soon, real soon, as far as like the Friday night noises.
Okay. I missed them Jones.
Yeah.
It was all, at least it was always something to look forward to on Friday.
For sure.
Definitely
I mean,
was.
like it's all like you said, a lot of hats, bro. Doing a lot of stuff like by yourself. Like most of that stuff is just like really just dropped in my spirit, and it's like, all right, let's just see what happens. I hate to wing stuff, but at the end of the day, it's like it's all about like
Says the man who flies.
I
can't.
For real.
can't.
Listen, if you ever sit on the phone with Jhalil, you be like, where you at? South Carolina. Where you going? Maryland. 10 minutes later, I'm going to North Carolina real quick because I'm gonna do this track, and then I'm gonna shoot over to Florida, and then I'm gonna fly to
Not about
Hawaii,
that life.
and then and then I gotta get back in Philly by tomorrow because I gotta clean up such and such street with Kingdom Building. It's like, bro, what?
Well,
You better do it.
my thing is this, bro. Like if you don't know your purpose, like, or if you know what I mean, like you talented, multi gifted. Like I mean, I swear, if I could shut the noises down, like I would. If I could shut the music off and just chill. And only time I don't hear nothing is when I go to sleep. And I really think I hear a lot of stuff when I go to sleep. You know what I mean?
Right.
What's that?
Yeah.
You know what
What's
I mean?
the S word?
So for me, it's like I just can't see myself doing what everybody else is doing, and if I don't keep busy, then I'll just end up feeling like I'm not doing anything. And that might stem from, not to get like right, but that might stem from, affirmations or confirmations like growing up, not having like that parental
Right.
situation, and then the people that you do confide in for that, oh yeah, and then it's like no, you didn't. So for me, it's like I just gotta keep moving. I just gotta keep doing stuff, because if I don't, then I'll be the one that's like, I just had a funeral this morning. Boy was like 26.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Started a security business, whatever the case may be, and got killed trying to save somebody else, like just doing his job. But at the end of the day, I was 6 months premature, 1 pound 5 ounces.
Wow.
Like I ain't supposed to be here, so I'm doing everything that I could do. Like before, I just can't do nothing. You know what I mean? That's just my outlook always going. Sure, I could use some guidance and focus, but you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, like it's God gave it to me. So let alone like that alone for me is enough to be like, just do it until, you know what I'm saying, it works.
Right.
I'm gonna start bringing a notepad in here because y'all be dropping bars. I need to write stuff down. I forget.
Going back, watching the replay, taking notes.
It's crazy. I wish I was making it up, but that's really just how it be for me. Like, finding inspiration through people or through moments, like I said, like just randomly sitting around, and then something you could, in the middle of a conversation, you say something, and it's like, that's something.
Yeah.
Hold up, bro.
Yep.
Let me write that junk down. Or you grab your phone, or you grab your memo, yo.
Yeah, that's the handy dandy voice memo.
Listen,
all day.
If I showed you my joints, bro, I got so many memos just from the
I tell people all the time I had to buy additional cloud space
Shucks, man.
because the amount of memos that I be doing all day long.
It's retarded.
And then I try to discipline myself and take time to like go through and be like, I don't need this one
But
anymore.
When he do the shoulders. He don't just do this. He did.
He lit that thing.
I be meaning it though, because I be trying real hard. Like I be like, all right, I'm gonna stop holding on to so much stuff. So I'm gonna just either release it or I'm gonna delete it.
Yeah.
And then I be like, and then I go back. Literally the other night I was coming home. I was trying to hurry up and get home. I just had this sound in my head. I had to get it out. Came home. I started doing a whole track. So following your steps, right? I picked up the acoustic.
Hey,
Been teaching myself the acoustic, right? So I'm playing keys, I'm playing the guitar. I just gotta put this thing out.
Yeah.
And then like something I heard, and I was like, I have lyrics to this. So I went back and going through. So then I called myself, right here I go, disciplining myself, right?
Don't forget to show
Yeah, I called myself, like, I started seeing all this stuff from mad years. And I'm like, all right, Christian, you need to, like, tighten up, bro. So I'm, like, starting to look at stuff. Then I started touching stuff. Mm-hmm. Then I started writing whole songs, adding to them. I was like,
something different.
I ain't never going to get rid of this stuff.
Absolutely.
It's crazy. I'm like, man, iCloud's going to take all my money. Because I just need more space. Just need more space.
I just had to buy a 2 terabyte hard drive yesterday.
It's crazy.
Literally yesterday, I went in the store. They were like, "Yo, we going to St. Ash." I'm like, you know, you go in the St. Ash, you gonna spend money.
Listen,
like,
I was in Guitar Center the other day. I walked in. Hey, Mr. Christian, how y'all? I was like, dang, that's terrible. Like they all know me. That's bad. What you need today? You building another studio? No, I'm just here to get 2 chords. Just give me some speaker wires. That's it. Nothing else. You still walked out of there with something else.
Absolutely. Yeah.
They take care of me though. I appreciate them.
It's crazy. I went to go get headphones and like, you know, low key having like some issues with my left ear, right? Just from I guess all the years of banging music.
Yeah.
So I went and bought some. I went in there for 2 things: headphones, so that I didn't have to do the in ears and I could do these.
Right.
And like a little mallet Joan that kind of sit in there that kind of cushions your ear.
Right.
I walked out with a guitar. I walked out with an acoustic guitar, the headphones, the little mallet Joan, and like a keyboard stand. And
I need y'all spare money. I mean, what the heck?
What's up with the budget, my guy?
Trust me. I mean,
you know what's crazy though? Acoustic guitars are not that expensive.
Define
all.
that.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, we don't have that kind of extra cash right here.
It's different
they
to
go
me.
into the hair store. They're coming out.
Come on.
Braid hair is $2.99.
I was going to say, the packs be $5 a
Braid hair is $2.99.
Or the nails, or that skin.
If I could get a guitar for $5 or less, we get there.
You are natural. That's different.
Praise the Lord.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I just make the struggle look good. Praise His name.
You making valid points, bro.
I was going to say,
at this table.
The valid point would be to prioritize, and that's how you budget these things.
Which
But
is
that's
why
a
we got
terrible example.
$299 braid hair in my head. Thank you, Jesus.
they were things, they were necessities that I needed. So
Right.
I figured instead of keep saying, "Oh, I need a guitar," "Oh, I need this," like just get it all.
I'm here, might as well just get it. Yeah.
That money gonna go back. It's gonna come back.
I had to weave.
Sheesh.
Hey, Michaela, how you doing? Shout outs to you. Appreciate you, Mr. Still in Your Podcast and 3324. We appreciate y'all support
That's
on
the
Podbean.
handles?
Huh?
That's their handles, Mr. Still in Your Podcast?
That's his name.
That's popping.
All right.
Different. You gotta ask that question. Then you want to go here, like, what's he doing? What is his podcast?
So if you listen and hear duplicates, don't be surprised. Huh? That's crazy.
Tonight we got on Jhalil Seabron from Philadelphia. We're talking about his song titled "Where You Are." Shockingly, it's amazing how things come together. So in the live studio audience, we have Kalia here, and she sits on the podcast with School of Light Church called Light Talk.
Like talk.
And like I said, we're talking about identity.
I'm gonna play on words.
And she asked a question last night about music and the influence of music. And I was just playing some things back in my head and stuff, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, I'm gonna start asking that question. I'm gonna start making that the bringing lyrics to life question. You know how some shows they always have a slogan, a saying, or they have one specific question. So the question was something, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was something along the lines of and I'm gonna remix it anyway, but pretty much. So the music today, would you say it has an influence on the tomorrow? That's the direction. I know that wasn't the question, but that's the direction that I was coming from. That's what made me think about it. Like, music today, right? Is it influential? And then what level of influence does it have? And how much of an effect does it have on the future?
It depends, like every genre, or are we like
all genres?
Well, my mic off.
That's a deep question.
Well, there are no. I would say no, right? First off, but there are some lyricists or artists that kind of give you the game. You know what I mean? Like Nip, he telling you how to buy property, how to save, how to love yourself, how to keep your energy clean. Like, that's cool for me. Like, that's for the future. You know what I'm saying? But then you listen to somebody, you know what I mean? Like, I'll start this out. I don't really listen to a bunch of other artists because I don't like for that music to like influence. Oh, yo, that sounds like. So I try not to like really, but that Nip would be like my only example to future music.
Okay.
But nah, today's music, in my opinion, does not support where the future should be.
You want me to chime in? Oh, you ain't done? Go ahead.
Oh no! I would love to hear what Reese got to say.
No, finish your thing. We don't want me to go off handle.
No, that's just it though. That's all I got. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, certain artists, but not all music now. Not all music today is for tomorrow.
All right. What you got, Reese?
You want to know the problem? It's all super influential because everybody sounds the same. From gospel to R&B to hip hop, everybody sounds the same. So is it dope? Reese Simon's gonna tell you no. But is it influential? Too much so. And it's even influencing tomorrow, not based on the words but the sound.
Yeah.
And even the words, because you remember even with R&B, they used to be saying something. Hip hop used to be saying something.
Right.
Now everybody is talking 1, 2, 3. High five me on 6. Like, and it's stupid. But now it's to the point where you remember when we used to argue about who was the dopest rappers?
Right.
Now there is no argument. You legit have to, if you talking now, Kendrick and J. Cole are your top 2. And Drake, not on mine, but on some people's, praise God.
Yeah.
So now it's to the point where the influence has become mimic the gimmick in gospel, in R&B and hip hop, and so it is influential. Do we like it? No, not real fans of music, but it's super influential, and it's influencing tomorrow in a horrible way.
Right.
Horrible way.
Right.
I'm done for the moment.
Naya, being the lyricist, the 15-time publishing author, heavy writer that you are.
Yes, we gotta talk about that one book. It haunts me.
What would you say? And having the balance of writing your own, right? Writing for other people, both mainstream and underground.
Dope.
What's your take on it?
I agree with what was already said, but I think that, like Reese was saying, like the music from previous generations still bang.
Yes.
And like you can still listen to them, and they're still relevant and important. And I think that music today is very in the moment, very in the now, and you will not listen to it next week. But there will be 50 other songs like it that will come out next week.
Yes.
So I agree with what Reese was saying.
Yeah.
So it's in the moment, and it'll continue every week with 50 new songs.
And you know what's crazy to me? You get in these settings and everybody will be like, yeah, music today is horrible, but y'all still letting them go platinum.
Yeah,
like,
man,
stop buying it. Like, we can create a whole movement if y'all would stop buying it. Like, everybody's like, music today is so bad, but as soon as it come on, like, can we stop that? What the heck? I heard this girl in Walmart one day was like, yeah, you know, Nicki's music ain't been the same since like 2011. She ain't the same Nicki. So why y'all still helping her go platinum in 2020? Like, y'all quit playing these games. Right. You got people waiting on the ladder. Get them off so we can climb up the top. Huh? Yo, why y'all still letting them? That's crazy to me. Stuff I don't think is dope. I don't play. The majority of music I play, if it's gospel, it is old.
Right.
The only current gospel artist whose music I will get ahead of time is Deidre Hatton, because I know Money in the Bag is I'm gonna be interested in it. Other than that, you're talking about Tone, Commission, BB and CC, the wine. That's all I play. Like, that's it, because I don't have no interest, because there's no differential. And then in hip hop and R&B, if it's not Kendrick Lamar, it is probably not recent. I like the baby because I think he's a comedian on live microphone. Like, legit. Like, you listen to what he say, you just start laughing. Like, what's wrong with him? And then he's making the news and, you know, getting arrested. So you find out he really is like that. So it makes it even funnier. But other than that, it's just like everything you're listening to is old. Right. And that's so sad. But they're making money. They don't got to work job. They're making money.
Right.
I know nobody want to hear this, but I feel like the answer to a lot of what you're saying is mental health.
Go ahead.
Like, the fact that people are supporting artists that they don't like is a mental health issue.
Correct.
I mean, it's just a lot going on, you know. Like,
she switched roles. She put on her psych hat.
But
that really just is my natural response. Is okay. You need to talk to somebody because there's something deeper happening here that is not okay. Like, that's not okay. Think about when you're saying, I don't like this, but I'm going to say every single word that they're saying.
Correct.
And you're letting that seep into your spirit.
Correct.
Like, do you not like it, or do you not like yourself enough to not listen to something
Correct.
you don't like? Like, something's wrong there. I'm sorry, but
or you don't want to not fit in. I will never forget. I won't name the artist because I plan on being on soon. Thank you, Jesus. So, but I remember when I saw the video, I thought it was a prank. And it was the #1 song for the summer. I remember when it first came on, I thought this is the stupidest thing I ever heard in my life. And before I knew it, it was I could not believe. I thought it was a joke.
That's happened to me a couple times.
I thought it was a parody video. I couldn't believe it. And then it went #1. And I was like, y'all gotta be kidding me. And then it makes you feel like something wrong with you. Like, you need help.
And let me just tell you how old I am.
We didn't hijack your interview. I'm sorry.
These artists now are so uncreative that their names are even the same. Like, I don't know the difference between.
Do you remember when names sounded normal?
You got baby, the baby, the baby.
Let's talk about that because I wasn't confused. I was super confused.
The Lucci's, like, what's happening?
I was confused. Even Meg the Stallion, I thought that was a joke. Like, that's what our names are now. Remember when we was just Foxy Brown, Lil Kim?
Right.
Salt and Pepper. You know, now we are Megan the Stallion. Like, you a horse?
Ow.
Like, we doing that? I was confused.
It's not. I don't think it's meant to make sense because we all know that a stallion is a male horse, but.
That too.
Shout out to her. Shout out to her.
Do your thing,
real.
boo.
Like, it's no shade.
No shade.
It's just these are the things that I think about.
Correct. Doja Cat, who I like, but when I heard her name, I was like, what?
Nah, Shorty got mental health issues too because the things she been saying is deep. It's something deep there that really need to be explored.
Like
with a professional.
And I have this battle. Because I have a real relationship with God. I just know how to be a human being. Bless Jesus. So I have balance. Praise His name.
Amen.
So we weren't raised where we could listen to R&B and hip hop.
Right.
But I listen to all genres. So I think it's fair. I'm trying to figure out the balance when I have kids, like how I want to do it. Because I can say, I can't speak for everybody, but music affects my emotions. Very much so. So you have to be careful what you listen. But the stuff they're singing is so wild. Like, I can't see how I'm gonna let's just talk about the females. I can't see how I'm gonna let my child listen to any female rappers that's out right now. The stuff they say, you need a condom in your ears to listen to it. Like, what in the world? Like, I can't. And I'm grown, and I'll just be like, oh my God. Like, oh, I feel like an old lady. Every time they come on, every time I hear something, a gray hair come up. I'm like, what is this? Like, it's I don't know. It's just crazy.
I mean, it's not funny. It's true, right? That you mentioned mental health.
No, it's very true.
I often say music is a form of communication.
Absolutely, that's what it is.
That's their way of talking.
Or is it the person writing it has the problem? Because don't none of them write their stuff.
Well, listen.
And that's another thing.
I will say this.
They acting it out well, though.
I will say for the people, right? I will say it to defend us underwriters and ghostwriters, I will say when you're writing for certain people, you study the person.
Right, like you write what they like.
So that's actually how they are and what they think.
Yeah, and even in that, because even in that, that's therapeutic right there. Because I'm studying your behaviors, your habits. I literally interview people like, okay, so tell me about yourself. What's your background like? Where'd you grow up at? Like I ask key questions, and then there's you know how we have listening sessions. I just go and I sit in sessions and I just let them talk. Mm-hmm. I literally just and if you let people just talk, they'll tell you everything.
They will talk.
So this is really
I
people's personality.
Yeah, I let people just ramble. I take notes and then I write them their track and be like, here you go. And surely, it fits.
Frightening.
And then there are other artists who want you to write what they think their fans want to hear.
Right.
And that's not them.
Which is what I thought was happening with these females.
But it's both. You really it's a hit or miss because you really don't know.
Or people that's trying to fit in and they just don't.
Because it's a mimic the gimmick thing. Mm-hmm. Like I remember when people wanted people to make history. Like people don't want to invest that kind of time and energy. It's like, how can I get this money back fast? Mm-hmm. So who can I get that can mimic the gimmick that's out now? Nobody's interested in making something that's going to last. It's crazy.
Timeless music is definitely like the goal, but it's kind of rough because that's not really where people, you know what I'm saying?
It's not. And if you're an artist, it can be like extremely discouraging because people don't have no interest in that. They like, can you do what's out now? Mm-hmm. All right, well then we'll talk to you later. Praise God.
Are you still doing like your little music school where you was teaching?
Boy, you really do everything. Good God.
To the young people?
He's Inspector Gadget for music.
No, not at the moment.
You gonna bring it back?
Maybe, bro.
I'm asking because I'm listening to this conversation and I'm because my mind always goes future with it. Like, how can we change this?
Yes, you
do. Yeah. Like that is always my mind is literally always like, all right, how can I market something better? Like how you know what I mean? Like what can I do to change this? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, well, this guy, he teaches music. And I know he used to teach the children instruments and stuff like that. But I think it's key that, and even like you were saying, and I even touched on this last night, how with my children, when they're listening to different music and stuff,
you do ask questions. You are the worst in the world.
I ask them questions. I be like, what are they saying?
Like,
I asked them. I'll be like, "What is this song saying to you? What do you think this means?"
Like, what do you mean?
Blah, blah,
what do you
blah.
think that means?
And once they get the understanding of it, then they don't even like the song.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I asked my oldest son. I can't remember the artist, but it was a popular song, and it came on at the skating ring. We was at the skating ring, and I pulled him off the ring, and I said, and all the little kids, all the teenagers, and they had to be like young as 8 and 9, just rapping it. And I'm like, yo, what is he saying? So I pulled my son off. I said, what is he saying? He told me he was saying something about shooting somebody in the head, their head blew off, and all these things. And then it was references to sex. Like, now, how you go from that in the verse? Okay. But but when he was explaining it to me, he said, you know what? I don't want to listen to this song anymore. And I said, oh, okay.
Praise the
There was
Lord.
another song. Now, this was years ago. I don't believe in Jesus, but I need a Jesus piece. I don't know who said that, the artist who said that. But when I asked my son about it, he said, I don't know what he means by that, but I don't like it. I don't want to listen to him anymore. Mm-hmm. And that was a very popular song. That's a very popular artist. I don't remember his name, but if you ask them and you have them think about it, they need to. They need to be thinking about what they're listening to because
I think that might have been Wayne. That might have been Lil.
No, it wasn't Wayne.
Syrup Sipping Wayne. That makes sense.
Yeah, that one.
Like,
that one.
Do you remember when
that was Lil Wayne, wasn't it?
That was not Wayne. That's a newer artist, but he's very popular.
Probably the dude that worked with Master P recently or something like that. I can't think of his name. He's talking about building the community.
Do you remember when we went to the club? Christian was going to throw me out the club because I was performing at a lounge. When I be there, I be at work as an artist. Praise God. Thank you, Jesus. We were in there and I was waiting for my turn to go. Everybody was talking about Mally's. I said, Christian, when did Mally music become so popular? I said, Reese, I must throw you out. I did not know what the drug was. I was like, it's cool. You remember when nobody talked about doing drugs? Like they was doing it, but it wasn't cool.
And it was in private.
Right. Now it's cool. I was like, Mally is really doing it. Christian was like, what are you talking about? I was like, Mally music was like, everybody's talking about Molly. He was like, Reese, I'm gonna throw you out.
For those who probably still don't know, they were talking about popping Molly the pill. And she thought they were making a reference to Molly.
I am so safe. Don't let this purple hair fool you. I'm so safe.
Who was that?
That was Kodak Black.
Kodak Black. All right.
I'm sure our audience already knew that, so I apologize.
I
I'm sure
definitely
they knew that for the past.
Y'all should have commented or something to help us out.
that was a struggle, but I don't know any
Nobody
of this
commented?
kids. I don't know
Ain't
any
nobody
of this
comment.
kids'
People
songs.
laughing and
I
stuff.
know
But
they
they ain't
know.
commenting.
They knew it though. They knew the answer.
Y'all knew the Saints knew the answer. Don't try to
Who the
change
heck
up
is
on
Kodak
me, man.
Black? I thought that was Cardi B's song. Kodak Yellow, Bodak Yellow. What was it called? Who's Kodak
But Kodak
Black?
Black is a rapper.
He's a whole artist.
Why we naming songs after artists and stuff? What is happening?
Listen, we've established that we is out the loop. I don't know.
I live underground, huh?
Man.
I like it there.
Listen. I remember somebody prophesied to me and they called me Harriet Tubman. They don't know how on that was. I like live in the Underground Railroad. Like I do not exist in this world.
Yeah.
No lie.
Man, listen.
So, and it's crazy because we're literally in a room full of creators and introverts.
Legit.
Right.
So,
Underground.
Me and Naya for
No,
real.
for
Christian
real.
knows how to fake it, but we do not. We be like, go away. You could come to my house and I'll go in the other room, shut the door, and leave you in the living room by yourself.
And what gets me is when people have a hard time understanding introverts, they be like,
Listen.
"Oh, well, why you can't have this conversation or why you can't do that?" That's literally against who I am as a person. Like,
Or-
it's against my human nature.
Minding your business makes you stuck up by
Right.
default. Unbelievable. Personal problem, certainly not mine.
misunderstood.
Very much so.
And it's comfortable here. I'm cool with being misunderstood.
You better
just to-
preach on
just to be
tonight.
clear.
Preach a word.
but that's the thing. I mean, right, sitting here and reflecting and looking at all of us, right? We have the key, y'all. Like we do.
We
Like,
do.
We really have. We have the wisdom. We have the sound. We have
We
the
do.
lyrics. We have it. How do we stamp that though?
This-
when do we come up from underground and
This is the
change
frustration. This is where people who really have it get left on the wayside. Cause you know you got it and you just be like, when? That WHEN question will murder your drive. Cause you just be like, when? And people around you be like, yo, you so crazy, you so I remember one guy hit me up. I went to the studio. They were talking about signing me. He said, there's nobody who doesn't know who you are. He said, do you know that? I just looked at him. He said, everybody knows you. He said, and nobody had nothing bad to say. He said, dudes I know that don't like nobody. They was like, yo, she's straight. He was like, and from them, that's a big deal. But yet here, I'm in obscurity. And it be like, people know what you are, but it just, that's the frustrating thing. When you have the sound and you can't figure out how to push that thing to the front.
Right.
You're just like, what do we do now? What do we do? What are we supposed to do? What's the next step?
Let me ask you this, because we've known each other, man, how many years? Some years.
Close to 10.
Yeah, right? So all these years, I've never heard you talk about labels. Like, is that a thing for you? Do you want to get signed? Like, you good where you at?
My guy, like, nah.
I would.
Good where you are, huh?
No, I would definitely love, like, I would be cool with the sign, but I just hear, like, it. That's a whole nother beast.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And if I don't have the people around me to be able to spot what I'm not, like, looking for,
Which they
or
try
whatever,
to eliminate.
I mean, I'm pretty cool. Like, I mean, independent. I have control over my situation.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's all what it's supposed to be because I'm in control of it.
Correct.
There was a time for me where, and I've always told every artist the same thing. I can only take you as far as you want to go. And I would push artists because most people was always looking to get signed. So I would pretty much teach them the ins and outs of the industry. Mm-hmm. And that was like a thing, like pushing people to get signed. Then it was like, do your own. Like, you know what I mean? Like, after being in the industry for so long, seeing the people, the artists that I work with, I'll say, that are up and coming or that I have been working with, and the things that they're doing, and it's like, do your own. You would do so much better. You would do so much greater. You would make some waves. You could definitely, you know what I mean, put your stamp on it. And it's going to take some work. It's going to take some time. But
it'll happen
when you get there,
how you want it. I mean,
it'll mean more.
It's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Like channels. Like what I met you through Simone Malone.
Yeah.
Right. And you know that was like a brief joint.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I see him, talk to him, yo, what's up? But it ain't like, you know what I mean? Yo, what's going on, bro? Like, come to the joint. Like, come to the lab. Like, it ain't that. I talk to you more than I talk to him at this point. But nonetheless, it's like the channels, like the energy. Like, it's got to be a wave. And I would rather work with, you know, not per se like having pick between him or you, but he only does like one thing. You know what I mean? Like, coming to you, it's like, all right, cool. You'll rock me through the ins and outs. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know what's up. Like, it's the energy. Energy is everything. And you can't. I'm just cool on the label thing. Unless it's like, oh yeah, yo, Sly got a label. Yo, what's up, bro?
Right.
Like, I would come right to you. Yo, listen to these. Tell me what you think. You know what I'm saying? Versus,
shut up. I'm not doing it. I'm not.
You out here trying to solve problems. You understand? You're trying to solve some problems.
Nope, I don't want to do labels no more. Been there, done that. I want to push people to make their own labels.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, Christian. Christian don't want to. Listen, I have, out of all my years in music, where I am now, I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I am, like, writing for people, and then just writing. I mean, what we've been working on our project for how many years?
Too many, child.
Right? So, I mean, because
you said it, you was still at the office in Woodbury.
that's what I'm talking about. Years, right? We've been working on this and now we're working on a whole nother project, and still haven't even put out the first project. Yeah. But because I've been doing so much for everybody else, I kept putting. Christian
gets excited, and then when that wind that's pushing him down, that thing sinks to the bottom of the ocean.
And then he'll hit you up and be like, "Oh, what happened, bruh?"
And put it on you. I remember he told me we was gonna have a meeting about. I was actually low key high, and Christian knows me, so he knows that people have murdered the part of me that's enthusiastic. Right. So when you tell me something, I'm like, all right, cool. So 7 months later, when we were talking about, I was like, we never met. He was like, well, you weren't enthusiastic. I said, well, name one thing I am enthusiastic about. Like, let's be for real. On Christmas morning, I'm like, oh my God, thank you. And it could be the one thing I wanted. I'm like, oh wow. So once he first get it, super hype. But if you don't keep blowing that tail on that ship, that's it.
Yes,
metaphor. You know what? That takes me back to when I met you. Well, first saw you perform at Broughton Nedro for like the Wiley's family's mom's like birthday service or something. Those. And I'm sitting in the back and I'm like, yo, she like, first of all, you're the only female rapper I know. Like, the only female rapper I know. Like I could be like, oh, yo.
Ain't got the nerve to be dope.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, listen.
And writing her own.
And so I'm standing next to my boy, and I'm like, yo, like, she is crazy, dog. Like, she's crazy. And then you kind of went into, like, the testimonial. I was like, yo, whole package. Like, this is retarded. Like, you just don't catch it. Like, you don't catch it. People aren't, you know what I'm saying? They get up there, they do their thing, and they dip. Like, but for me, I mean, I kind of have a tendency, or had a tendency of doing that. Like, you know, come to a joint, perform, dip. Only because in my head, it's like, it's a lot of spirits running around in this joint. And I really ain't got time to be, like you covered, you know what I'm saying? Like, certain people, like I said, like a team is so important.
It is.
It
is.
A team is so important.
It is.
And like, at the time, like, I didn't have that, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I didn't per se, I wasn't as confident in my own covering, you know, as the next person. So I'm out. Like, I don't need none of that rubbing off on me. And then it's like, what happened to him? Like, I'm cool. I'm cool.
Right.
I'm gone.
Like, Dad, we just gonna have Jhalil come back for another track.
Let me just keep it all the way of being the testimony be so they will let me rap. Half the time I didn't even want to say that stuff. But that was the only way they wouldn't stole me out the building. So I had to I remember my mom saw a video of me. She said, Family, you do all that wiggling in church? She said, you lucky they don't drag you out of there. I said, well, thank you for the confidence boost. What is wrong with you? But I would basically only tell it. Sometimes I was led. And a lot of times the Lord would get involved. But I used to tell it so they would let me be myself. Because that was the only way they was going to let this purple hair, big booty come in there and rap these songs. Like, there was no other way.
That authenticity.
Christian just cringed in his soul.
That's what, like, being authentic, though, that's what changes everything. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
listen. And that's why I say where I am now, the different people that I'm working with now, it's been a blessing because they are allowing me to be me. Mm-hmm. So even when writing for them, I'm still able to put me in it. You know what I mean? And so I'm like very good right now. Like I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Because when you try and write for other people, that thing, you want to talk about anxiety?
Correct.
Yeah.
And you try and capture them and it don't mesh with who you are.
Yeah.
And that's a project because people will be like, can you work on this? Listen, I've been working on this for like 3 months. I can't even touch your joint. And they be like, yeah, but I just want, but they just literally be wanting 2 verses.
Right.
I can't give you a word right now. Like legit. Like for real. And it used to stress me out. But right now I'm like, I'm good. Like there's some nights I literally just, I can sit in front of the computer. I can type something out. And I'm still like so old fashioned because I start on paper, then I try to transition to the computer, then I do the music, right? And I literally can now. I'm in a space now where I can literally knock out 5 songs and be like done, good, for real. And I mean, and this is every day now. Like there's, if I'm not in here writing something, that is shocking. Like if I'm not making music or something, like usually every day I'm touching something now. You know what I mean? And so where I'm at, you know, you over here looking at me. It's funny, yo. My sister be with me, but don't be with me, cause she'll be like, "Yeah, you need to start the label." All right, we starting the label. You can start it now.
Because listen, like he was saying about the anxiety, like with writing songs, I don't have the patience that he has. So like if we're having a conversation about a song that you want me to write for you, and you're not making sense, I'm done. Like I'm gonna try and make sense of what you're saying, but if you don't allow me to do that, then I'm out.
Right.
And he's not like that. So I just feel like I wouldn't be a benefit to him with this label thing because I ain't got it. I ain't got the patience that it requires.
Yeah, it's wild. Truth be told, like I only started singing because I was pushing songs to certain people, and it didn't. Not that it didn't sound good, it just wasn't the way it was written.
Right.
And I don't know if like I'm the only person that does that. But
Nope.
It's like, bro, like
I can't even get them to take mine.
I did not write that, right?
Yeah.
So it was it was a group. I think it was like
Don't
ladies.
say no names.
Yeah. I got to think.
I'm gonna help you along the way.
Okay. All right. Yeah. It was a group. It was a girl group. You know what I'm saying? Gave them a joint called Conqueror. You know, inspirational, upbeat. You know what I mean, uplifting or whatever. And I'm like, y'all killing me. Like this is not. This is not the move.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, I gave it to y'all like piece by piece.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I feel like I wasted my time. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, it's funny because Reese and I, we have the conversation all the time about like when writing for other people or what songs you want to release to certain artists and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And so is it a battle for you when you write something? Like how do you determine what songs you gonna keep and what songs you gonna release?
Well, ever since I found out like there can be 2 versions, it really doesn't matter. No,
listen, I tell people all the time, you can write a whole song for somebody. If they put a "the" in one verse, it's a whole new song.
Yep.
And people be like, no, that's not all right. And no, that's exactly what happens.
Yeah. So my man just recently he put something up like, you know, looking for songwriters or whatever, and you know I'm just like I'm sitting on them. Go ahead, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, met up with him. You know, I'm playing it out for him or whatever. And he was like, yo, that joint hot. All right, cool. I like that joint. And then he ended up taking one of the joints, and, you know, like recording it or whatever. Did a release for it and everything. And I mean, you know, I love it. Like, I love the way it is. I love the way it is, right? But at the same time, you could tell the difference. Like,
Absolutely.
you could tell I wrote it, but
Right.
you also know, like, that new arrangement isn't my joint.
Right.
But it's a banger. Like, the joint is hot. It's hot. You know what I'm saying? It's creating a buzz for him. It's creating a buzz for me. And, like, it's just, some joints, I just be like, whatever. And because I know that, like, I could do it my way,
I love when people hit me up and they be like,
"Thank you for the opportunity."
I just heard this song. Did you write this? And sometimes I just be quiet.
That is me. I be like, you wrote this?
Sometimes I just be quiet, and then sometimes, depending on the song and my connection with it, I'll either sing or play for them the original way, and they'll be like, well, "Why didn't you use that way?" That's my question. Yeah. Why did they not? Like what they did with it. Yeah. Psh, but sometimes it's like it was a check.
See, me and Christians, and that's what he don't get about mine, because I have yet to still.
Is she crying?
Break. No. You want to know the truth? I have to go to the bathroom, and I'm holding it, and that's why my eyes is watering, my nose is running. That is the problem. So
I was just asking, can we get some tissue?
No, that is the whole. I've been trying not to run out of here, but we got about 2 more minutes. So before I just take on ahead and sprint into the house. But me and Christian's debate be because there were certain songs I remember I was gonna get rid of Gravity. He's already in it. For some reason, there's like this everything with me is a fight. My whole life is just a fight. So even with trying to break into ghostwriting, for some reason, songs are dope, but people won't take them. So Christian be like, "You're not attached to this song." And my attitude be like, "I'm a songwriter. This is what I do." Like, no, I don't be attached to them. I be thinking about that paycheck. I be thinking about multiple streams of income. That be my. And he be like, You don't know how it feels one day when you hear it on the radio. Well, I look forward to that day. Until then, they are all up for sale. Praise him.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, even with this album, I'm like, yo, like, once we get these joints done, like, I plan on shopping them. You know what I mean? To, like, major people. Like, what can I do with them? I sat on them for, like, almost 10 years. Finally got the work done. And then it's like, all right, pass it on. Because that's where it's going to come from.
Let me ask a question. Is it a real thing where it can be harder for females with that? Especially if you're writing for female artists. Because he said something to me. But I be trying to see if he just be trying to gas me so I don't give up. Or if it actually be legit. Because he was like, Reese, he was like, the problem is once I show, they be interested till I show some of them what you look like. And how you sound. And then they like, well, no, I don't want to help her. Is that legit or was he gassing me so I wouldn't throw my pen down?
I think it is. For sure. Because I think a lot of artists want you to look like them,
or uglier,
because they feel like you can feel what they
look
feel.
at him. He's like, I'm like, gonna choke her.
They just mental health is so important.
We gonna have her on the other podcast to talk this identity piece.
Don't nothing bother me more though. Don't nothing bother me more than when they say, "Can you change this word?" and it's a
that is a thing with her. Oh my God, that is a thing with her.
And it's like, can you make this word like make sense? Shorty, get a dictionary. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'll be a simple word to me, but to them, it's like their audience may not understand it, or like you shouldn't want to.
And she will throw the whole project away and walk away behind one word.
I just don't like that.
I understand.
I'll be like, what happened with such and such? Be like, they asked me to change this word to this. Okay, and you ain't changing that.
Listen, I guess I'm a work in progress. The Lord's not through with me yet.
Amen.
But I just feel like I want to, as a writer, I want to spark dialogue. I want to spark conversation. Right. So if you don't know how many people tell me they read my books and have to have a dictionary next to them, I'm happy about that. Yeah. Broaden your horizons. Absolutely. Explore your vocabulary. Like, get better, be better. I am a phenomenal person for doing that for you. Come on. Like, that just made my day. Now, if you don't agree, then I don't want to write for you.
A lot of people don't want that push.
They
are okay
where they are.
Like, it's corny. I remember like starting, like I probably didn't really start getting into like the studio life and hanging around writers and like and production till I was like 14, 15, right? Probably like older, 16, 17, right?
Please.
Probably like 16, 17, right? But yo, they pulled up the encyclopedia for everything, and I'm sitting there like, yo, like, why is it taking you so long to, like, you know what I'm saying? They like, bro, like, you gotta be in your phone, like, understand what you're saying, like, don't just be saying anything. And I'm like, all right, cool. So like, I mean, I applaud you for that, like having people like dig deeper, dive deeper, like, because that's the only way we're gonna be better. Like, there's no way you're gonna be like you're gonna make it to wherever you're trying to make it to, just chilling.
This is why I like this platform, and it's crazy because we talk about it, and I share it because we built this platform just to create an outlet to talk about music. Yeah. We weren't looking to be on nobody's nothing. Right. Like, that was not our intent. Like, we never came together.
I hate being center of attention. This is so weird.
Yeah, like, and it's crazy because none of us like it. Yeah. So, because people be like, "You want iHeart?" Yeah.
As the audience expands the anxiety increases, I'm like, yo, chill.
Yeah. We just be like, yeah. And they be like, you not hype? Like, I mean, that's another platform that we got to talk on.
Right.
The pressure.
More people listening. That's
it's like more people listening. Like, we're glad we're making a reach, but at the same time, like, we're like,
yeah.
Especially my sister and I, like, this is us. This is who we are. This is what we do. So it's just like we in our own world. So we're not looking at it like, oh yeah, you know what I mean. So it's just different. But I tell people all the time, man, it's like trying to reach certain people with certain things or whatever. It's hard when they box you in and they limit you, and I tell people all the time, especially because when you're working with people who are creators, right? It sometimes can be hard because everybody has their own style. Right. You know what I mean? But for me, it's not hard because I respect people in their lane of creativity, and I just try to figure out how I can fit it. You know what I'm saying? Like how we can collab together and make that thing work. I'm gonna recap just a little bit. So what Reese was saying was, when she shops different songs, right? So when I'm pushing her music to different mainstream artists and stuff like that, or to labels and stuff, they'll want to know who's behind it. And then once they hear the name, once they hear the music, once they see the person, especially if it's a female, they switch gears. And sometimes what happens in the industry is they look at her as, oh, she's competition. And then they be like, no, not even acknowledging and realizing that she's not trying to be competitive. She's trying to actually help you. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. But they look at it like you're a threat.
Absolutely.
So we don't want to work with it.
And they also, I think that a lot of women think that they can manipulate men. So it's easier to work with a man than it is another woman. I think that's a thing too. Wow. But again, mental health.
You know what's crazy though? On yourself. And I thank God. You know what? I really do. I'm glad you said that, and I'm gonna stamp that, John. And I thank God because out of all my years working in music, I ain't never had nobody try me. Like for real. Like even if I'm in a session with the rappers and stuff like that, like when I come in and some people know me, some people don't. Right. But and that's a testament of who you really are as an atmosphere changer.
I was going to say
because I'll walk in the booth, I'll walk in the studio, and they'll start moving. They'll start putting their bottles away. They'll be like, "Oh, my bad, bro. Let me put this out." They put the weed out. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I don't even come in. I don't say anything. I literally come in with my Mac. Just I'm gonna plug in. I'm gonna just do what I do. Right. Like that's what you do. Do what you do. I'm just here to serve my purpose. I'm out. Right. But literally, I'll walk in and people will be like, "Oh, my bad, bro. Let me put this away," or da da da. I mean, even this morning, I was walking out. And this guy was like, "It's just a cigarette," because the guy who walked in front of him and past me smelled like straight weed. So when I got to the guy who was actually outside smoking, he was like, "It's just a cigarette." I said, "I didn't even say anything." Right. He's like, "No, I just want you to know it's not me." I said, because I smell it too. I said, "No, I know it's not you." And it was crazy. Like, this man don't know me. I don't know him. But people, like, they see me and they just feel the need to just change that. And I thank God. Like, I really do. And I'm glad that I can say, being in the industry, I never had a woman try to seduce me. I never had dudes try to disrespect. I never. Yeah. And I thank God for that. Because I know some people, they have to have security in their joint. Like, I know, you know what I mean? I know some people who can't be in the joint by themselves. So, you know what I mean? I thank God that I've had that protection. We got a question from the live studio audience. What you got?
Oh, you answered it already.
Oh. Well, what was the question?
Well, because you said that they'll be interested in the song.
Yeah.
Well, Reese said it, and then they see her or whatever, and then they're not interested anymore. And I just
You couldn't understand it, so I recapped
Just
when
the
I did the
church.
recap.
Yeah,
Only the
like-
saints. Only the saints.
I was like, what?
And no
why?
lie, real rap. I've had gigs at clubs, ain't say nothing. Just was like, yo, I'm Reese Siren. Hit the track. I think you were there for one of the nights. The dude that went up later, he might have been 2 people after me. He was like, and to the shorty in the back, he was like, I heard what you were saying, yo. He was
Yeah, I
like, keep
remember.
talking like that. Only the saints don't listen to words.
Yeah.
Right.
Only the saints. They hear with this. So that's why you got a lot of people, even in church, mimicking the gimmick.
Right.
No life behind it, no nothing. They just know how to act when they get in there, and then as soon as they sit down, they turn it off. And they would actually prefer it that way
So
because
for those,
they hear with this.
yeah. So for those who don't know and understand, so Reese will go into a club and perform something she originally wrote. First of all, if you go in any club, especially in the tri-state area,
Correct.
and you're doing something original,
Correct.
strike one.
Correct.
I'm over here like, wait, where are we going with this story?
If you are in the city of Philadelphia,
Correct.
and you are not
From
having
Philadelphia?
trap music, and you're not from
Yeah, but
Philly,
they wanna be in the
and you are not
church.
oohing and ahhing or saying something that everyone knows,
Yeah.
strike two.
Correct. Correct.
Reese will go into a club, perform something that she did, her own music, her own lyrics, and be talking about God. And I've watched her get more respect on that platform than she has in the
Yes,
church.
sir.
I gotta say something right here. I just did like it was a thing called like Spotlight Under the L for like, and they ended up like airing it on like Fox or whatever.
That's
right?
hot. Spotlight under the L. That's
What
that
does
got
that
a ring
mean?
to
I
it.
mean, it was cool. At
What's
first,
under the element? What the,
The train,
like,
right?
we were literally under
Under the L.
That's
Yeah,
it.
like-
See, I live. I should have known that because I live underground with the train. So sorry.
I'm about to take that joint and run.
So check it,
That's
bro.
hot.
We do the joint, right? I get there and I'm like the only gospel artist, right? And I do Where You Are, right? I do Where You Are, and I do another joint called Glory. Like, first of all, people were like not even confused if it was a gospel song or personal, but they took it so personal. Like,
Right.
somebody was like, "Oh, I just lost my girl," like they like crying, like. And I was like, y'all never seen like that, like really before. You know what I mean?
Correct.
You hit church, like you said, and it's like they only see what they want to see. But
Right.
you go, I mean, everybody in here, bro. Like I was literally one of the only gospel artists, like literally, and they, like, I don't know. To me, it was like, oh yeah, God came. I mean, they got what they needed
Absolutely.
from whatever.
Yeah.
Like I was almost like kind of shocked, like in tears myself, just because it was like, you know, you don't get that.
And you know what gets annoying to me? I had somebody reach out to me like, I'm gonna do a song with you. They was like, don't worry, I ain't gonna say nothing crazy. We'll do. And I said, why don't we just? This is what church people meet, because everybody just want to mimic the gimmick. So everybody, not you, but everybody, because there are people you can tell worship is authentically them,
Right.
but 85% of it is people who have mastered the art of dramatics.
Right.
So what people I was being nice because I was definitely gonna go higher. I definitely was. Me with an open mic is an open flame, but I thought about it. What church people don't realize, first of all, most of them will get up there and try to preach a sermon. Praise the Lord, hallelujah. I'm from the first of all, you kill your what people don't understand is pain is a universal language. And if you infuse them with hope in the middle of that, people grab onto that. We so busy trying to beat people in the head with talk they language.
Right.
So when you write something from an emotional place, key problem, most people ain't writing their stuff.
Right.
When you write something from an emotional place, people are listening, like they grab hold of it instant. Nobody is more discerning than the hood. You go in the hood and they know it's authentic. They know what you mean. They know what you're feeling,
Right
and they
away.
gravitate to that. Only in church does artificial flavors go better than the natural ones, huh?
Eee, that was good.
Artificial flavors.
Yeah.
Annoying.
Oh man. Let me ask you this.
Break. Put a battery in my back.
One of the things, and it's crazy because I'm dealing with a similar type thing now with an artist, right?
You are.
I'm trying to figure out how to word it, but pretty much it's the box me in.
You have to throw me out.
It's the box me in type mentality, right?
Yes.
So, as an artist, do you place yourself in a genre? Do you say I'm a gospel artist? Do you say I do?
Definitely weighing in on this.
Do you say I do what's the, because now you got so many different
Inspirational.
gospel genres. Now you got inspirational, you got CCM, you got Christian, you got you know.
It's all CCM.
Not really, bro. Like honestly, I'm still like at the place where I'm internally like, you know, you're legit an artist. Like people could be like, yo, sing a song, and I'm like, no, but you get give me a note, Ree, and she on it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not I'm just saying I don't consider myself to be like a singer or a writer or an artist. I'm just a person that has gifts that's willing to display them. Like I can't put a cap on that. You know what I mean? Like I work with people outside of gospel and like written a verse in like 2 minutes, and I'm shocked at myself because I'm like, all I really write is Jesus music. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like oh, that's dope. Like, you know, just expanding. But no, I don't per se have a genre. If I'm trying to describe to a musician or musicians or whatever, I'm sorry. The like the texture of like what I want them to do, then I'll say like CCM. But other than that, I don't put myself in like a genre because I'm mixing so many together at one time.
I am literally in this music battle with an artist right now who is well known as a gospel artist. Just released something, and the genre of the song can be placed as either Christian / gospel or R&B and soul. And I'm like, put it in R&B and soul. And they're like, really? Like, oh my God, what are you sure? Absolutely. Like, why are we limiting ourselves? Because that's how, to me, I've never been a fan of genres. I've never been, because I feel like once you do that, once you put that stamp on you, you limit yourself.
Yeah, you stuck there.
Because I mean, I've worked with people. In fact, I was just with a bishop the other day,
Praise
and I was helping them with something for their church, and he was like, why? He was like, and this is what he said. He said, why don't you promote all that you do in music? And then before I could even answer, then he said, but how do you deal with that as an apostle doing R&B music? I didn't even get a chance to answer. So you just answered the question for me, sir, because you box me in and you limit me on what I can do. And for me, if you listen to anything I write, whether it be gospel, whether it be R&B, whatever, it's music. It's communication. It's lyrics. It's, you know what I'm saying? So for me, it's not. And I even told him. I said, listen to the words, read the words. I said, and it's not me that's on the stage twerking or gyrating or doing this or doing. I did my part. What they do with it from that point,
right?
Up to them.
That, you know what I'm saying? I did my part, and my hands are pure and clean. But go ahead, Reese. What you got?
Well, one, as a writer, somebody said to me, they were like, if you're a plumber, they was like, you gonna fix toilets, you're not gonna worry about if the person is a Christian, if the person whose house you're going in is a Buddhist, you gonna fix their toilet.
Right.
And they were like, writing is a job. You write for the job that you got. But as far as me and Christian, early on, we used to argue because he was like, Reese, you're not gospel. I was like, yes, I am. He was like, no, you're not. I was like, yes, I am. I remember when I went in the studio, I laid down a song. I came out the booth. The dude was like, oh, I was nervous. I thought you was a gospel artist, but you're not. I was like, I am. He said, no, what you just did in there is not gospel. And because of the other hats I wear in church, you get so worried about trying to keep peace in them four walls with the steeple on top that you get, you just be people who are pure of heart. Praise Jesus. You just don't want to cause confusion. You don't want to upset people. But I've come to realize, because of other things that I am in Christ, praise his name, no matter what I do, I'm going to ruffle feathers. So then I just begin to be it. Because with people, and I feel like I say the same thing all the time, but my music is the diary of a chosen person. It's how I keep from strangling people. It's how I keep from going to jail. So I can't help if you don't hear Jesus' name a million times, but if you're listening, there's more content in my songs than some of these worship songs and some of these choir songs that you're hearing, because it's real. It's not just, I'm not just a writer getting a paycheck, so I know how to put these words together, but it's actually a real thing. So I've learned how to, having a relationship, if you're in our kind of predicament where you're trying to police what you are in church as well with your other abilities,
Yeah.
if you have a relationship with the Holy Spirit, He gives you guidelines. Don't go past this.
Right,
Don't
right.
do this. And as long as you're abiding in the guidelines He gave you,
You
then
good.
everybody else can be blessed. It is not my concern what turns you green, yellow, pink, purple. That's not my problem.
Right.
Long as I'm in the guidelines He gives me, there are certain things I could write. Because let's just all keep it a bean. Ain't nobody here a virgin. We could write a sex song and be dope. I'm not performing it because that goes beyond the bounds He gave me.
Right.
So if I write it, I know what I'm talking about. That's not against the law. When you're married, that's what you're supposed to be doing. Praise the Lord. So that's not. Yeah, that's not the issue. But He's giving me certain parameters that I'm going to stay in. Long as I do that, then where y'all put me is not my like a year ago, 2 years ago. I wouldn't have put out I Wish. Now I wish I would have not put out I Wish. What? Kick rocks. Huh?
Listen, we doing it. We doing it big. We're doing it heavy tonight. We got Jhalil Seabron representing Philadelphia here, and his song "Where You Are." Shout out to our supporters. I'm looking, and I'm surprised some of y'all not commenting. So I'm gonna shout y'all out. But shout out to Tico Hicks. I appreciate you, bro. He put me on, introduced me to Jaheim. Appreciate you, man. Shout outs to one of the music greats. I cannot believe, sir, you are not commenting and being quiet on this show on tonight. Maurice Williams. What's up, bro? That's my man right there. He's not in music anymore, but he'll always be in music. And I'm talking about somebody who Maurice has touched, man, so many different levels of music. Artists, managed different people, wrote for different people, all kinds of things. He's a singer from the Bishop's Choir. Yeah, Maurice, I appreciate you, man. Miss you. He living it up down in Florida. Wayne Perry, appreciate you. I appreciate all of our supporters. Without you guys, we wouldn't be hitting these platforms and things that we're doing. So applause and hats off to you all, for real, for real. We appreciate the support. Jhalil.
What's up, bro?
We talked about a lot tonight.
Indeed. He never got to the second verse.
We talked.
Those
about
lyrics is
a lot.
dead.
Listen,
On Lyrics to Life.
yo, but that's what I was starting to say earlier. That's what I like about this platform.
Yeah.
Because that's what makes us unique. Is because you don't have people who actually take the time and break down a song and find out the origin of it,
Correct.
the understanding of it,
Correct.
and the person behind it. You know what I'm saying? And I was sharing with somebody. I was, they called me and they was like, listen, I need to be on there. It was like, cause you're doing stuff that nobody else ever does. And it was like, do you know how much I would pay somebody to ask me about one of my
Toot that
songs?
horn. You better toot your
And
horn.
I was like, man, that it touched me. You know what I mean? Like, yo, like, all right, we heading in the right direction. I'm gonna touch my heart with your crazy self.
I love this special co-host. I'm here for it.
This be our regular conversations all the time. This is how we talk all the time.
That's why he gets scared whenever I got a live mic.
Yeah.
In church, they be like, clap your hands for Reese sign. Christian be like,
Every time. Lord only knows what'll come out that mouth. Listen, man, what if there was one thing that you could do in the industry
good question.
to change it? That just came to me. There was one thing that you could do in the industry to change it. What would it be?
Just be in the industry. I think me alone, like my own presence and my own gifting, would introduce, a different level of person, or talent or sound or what have you. Two was, already there. Like,
That was so inspirational. How he just dropped that in there like that.
You caught him
just
off
saying.
guard saying to wing it.
But it was dope. Like it's honest and it's promoting yourself, but it's also like you're purposeful.
Yeah.
So that's dope. I like that.
Listen, Misfit Music is an awesome label right now.
See what he does?
They
that's plugging you in.
they're shopping artists.
He don't have
That's-
no interest. You see what he does?
Yeah, Reese Siren and Tony, they have a label called Misfit Music. And they shopping artists.
We still waiting to have that meeting too. I just want to I got that call months ago.
Let me tell y'all, episode 6, I still play back all the time.
Listen,
all the time. That's my favorite episode.
I was there. I was mad at Christian. I was mad at Christian on that day, so I did not do a lot of talking, but I was indeed in the building. He bit my head off as soon as I came through the door, so I was quiet on the podcast because he was mean, and then he was like, "We got Reese Cyrus in the building. How you doing?" I was looking at him like, "I'm fine. Are you for real?"
Your talent speaks for itself, sweetie. You don't ever have to say much, ever.
She's so nice.
I mean, absolutely. Though. Like I'm trying to tell you, yo, like from that Negro day, I was like, yo, she's popping. Like anything that I could do to like collaborate, like it's gotta. That was the reach out. I would call this boy all the time.
So
like,
what you
yo,
doing with your music next? What's the next move that you get ready to do?
But real talk though. So back to the album. Like I mean, like I said, I don't consider myself to be like a singer or artist or whatever. I mean, so at the end.
But you did all your backgrounds on this. When Christian played it, I said, Christian, he got rid of the group. And Christian said something shady. I don't remember what he said. He said something shady. But I was like, did he get rid of the group? I was like, because this is all him. It was dope.
Wait, that's you in the background?
Mixture.
It's not.
Oh, okay.
It sounded like it. My hearing is not good, and it wasn't in the earphones.
Well,
just a little.
So going back to the producer, like he produced it and like laid some backgrounds.
Okay.
So I mean he can do all of that, but it was.
Well, I know you had women. I didn't hear no females. Praise the Lord. That much I can confirm.
I mean,
in the group, he had women in the group. That's background. Praise God.
Thank you for that. Sheesh. But no, kind of going to how you saying like this platform kind of opens up. I mean, it's the same way, like the same vision for Kingdom Builders or Friday Night Noise. Like it's all one big situation. You know what I mean? To where you're able to express yourself. You're able to share your gifts, your talents, your concerns with whatever's happening in your community. Like it's all one big joint. So I mean, I'm inspired. You know what I'm saying? From Manna to Manna.
Manna to man.
I mean, real talk, bro. You talk about all the hats I wear. I mean, you do just about the same thing.
There's no job you can name that Christian has not done. When you sit and have a conversation, no matter what
I never been
employment opportunity you name, he has done it. You be talking about flowers, he be like, yeah, when I was a florist. Then you be at Wawa, he be like, yeah, when I was working at Wawa. You be like,
this is all facts.
Legit, he has done every job. You be like, I be looking at firefighters. Yeah, when I was a firefighter, I was like, when were you a firefighter? Like,
where was I?
It's funny. I want to go back to being a firefighter.
You don't need to do another job.
I'm telling you, I'm learning about jobs he got right now. When you start doing that?
He is an onion. You know how Shrek said ogres are onions? Christian is an onion. There are layers to this.
Absolutely.
9 years in, 8 years in, it felt like 20. God bless him. We love each other, but God bless him. It's been like 8 years in, and it feels like I don't know him. When he started, that's why when he started talking about he played the trumpet and the clarinet and the saxophone. I was like, when were these conversations? We was doing the paper route together. This never came up.
That's crazy.
I've never been a trash man.
And let me
they
tell
make
you
good
something.
money.
And they also are in shape. Praise his name. I will take me a good hearty trash man, jumping on and off that thing all day long. They got stamina, huh? Try me. I would walk right down the aisle with him. What do he do for a living? He a trash man. Huh? Try me.
Oh man. Listen, the laughter that's happening on this live. Lord. We keep it colorful on bringing lyrics to life.
Listen,
without a doubt.
Live mic is a risk with the siren.
That was hot.
Yeah, it is though.
I thought she was doing the sound effect.
So you got a date yet or no?
Nah, no date. Probably
Say you got a woman. What are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about for the album.
It is a little bit, right?
I was like,
Oh my God.
Amen.
See the sweat?
Man, shout out to girl and your baby, man. So these people.
Yeah, y'all gotta
Praise
cut
the
it out,
Lord.
man. You know what I mean, shout out to the fam. You know what I mean, Jhalil
Christian
Jr.
said you got a date. I was like,
No, like 2021, like around there.
Okay.
I mean, like anytime.
Anytime
like,
next year.
I'm a perfectionist. Like, I mean, for the most part, you know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
gotta be
That's why Jhalil sits on stuff for 10 years.
for sure.
I be like, when you putting that track out, I'm working on it.
But you know what I've learned? You got to hear what you do through the ears of your haters. So you can't hear it thinking like, oh, that's so hot. No.
Yeah.
You got to pick that joint apart. That way, if anybody
Say
open their dirty mouth up and say anything,
Right.
you know they lying.
Right.
Because you spent your time ironing every wrinkle out. Huh?
Come
You
on.
made that thing
Come
crisp. You could cut an edge with that shirt. Huh?
Like-
So once you're done, ain't nothing that could, huh?
It's crazy, yo. I go to 3 different spots. I do keys at one
Oh,
spot.
Jesus.
It's got to be
You
right.
super perfection.
I'm telling you, I do my keys at one spot.
Lord.
I do my drums somewhere else because it's like them Jones just smack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I do my vocals somewhere else because I really like how the guy mixes and masters and tweaks and all
You
that.
either have great connects or a lot of bread. Amen.
Or
Either
both.
way. Huh?
Yeah, he's a provided guy. Yes, he is.
Come on.
Amen.
Let's,
Amen.
let's do the ET touch and agree. But one or two together. Huh?
We make it
Praise
work though. We make it work for sure.
Yeah. So, with that then, right?
Yeah, I can't wait to watch
Because
this.
you're going...
I for real.
Listen, 'cause
We
you
finna put her on permanently. I'm putting my vote in right now.
I know you're going to keep us on edge because you're very good at suspense. You're very good at suspense. So I know you're saying 2021. Are you dropping any singles along the way, or are you just gonna wait for the album?
If they're ready,
Drop it like it's hot.
if they're ready, and the 2 that are out, this will be one, so that'll be. I mean, that's being done again. I haven't gotten to the second one yet, but it's weird because I got like other joints, right? But when it's right, when it's like I can put them Jones on and I hear what I hear in my head, I'm cool. Let's go.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
By the way, Jhalil still owes me a track too, so that's one of the holds up for the project.
He gonna put it on everybody but himself, and that's fine. That's fine.
No, you know what's crazy? I'm like you, man. Like the music is done. Most of the lyrics is most of the stuff is done.
See, I haven't gotten the lyrics yet.
Man, we
One song.
have songs we're sitting
Yeah.
on. We just
See?
I write every day.
See, that's different.
so.
If you got stuff that's done and ready to be put out,
I don't be thinking it's ready.
see,
Like and
you
she
gotta
be
hear
like
from the ears
she
of your
gets
haters, right?
she gets annoyed though because I'll be like, listen to this. She be like, didn't you play? I changed. You didn't hear the change in that?
Oh, God.
Because it be like so much time between it, and my memory is so bad, bro. Like if it
And he's
if it
anal.
clicks, like I heard this before. You feel me? Like I have to hear the original and then the
Yeah.
redone one to be
Yeah.
able to compare, because I'm not gonna remember exactly what note you changed, bro. Like this was from 2 weeks ago. You know?
I don't know. I might notice it. Like, oh yeah.
Hold on. You know what?
Somebody with a good memory.
You didn't even hit the studio as much as you were supposed to record some of the tracks neither.
Okay, that's true too. But,
All right, so it ain't all on
but
me.
the main point is,
Amen. Amen.
the main point
Women
is,
unite. Amen.
you wasn't ready.
Crazy.
So listen, y'all heard it right here. Bringing lyrics to life. We got Jhalil Seabron, his album coming out in 2021,
Somewhere in there, yeah.
and then somewhere in 2025 we gonna release our album.
Well, at least we got a date on it.
Somewhere
Amen.
between now and 2025 we gonna release
I
it.
met you in 2012. You was at that Woodbury office and you was talking about this somewhere between 2012 and 2014. I'm gonna
He
need you to
sure
tighten
was.
up.
But hold on, but we shift gears because we are now working on a whole other project, and that
Truly.
definitely will be coming out definitely before the original project.
2025.
Yeah. That'll be in 2025, probably 2021.
Hey.
Maybe even before that. We'll be releasing the soundtrack to the book that she released, Seduced by Suffering.
Dope.
Now, I don't know if he should have announced that because y'all going to be waiting. but that's what we working on, y'all.
We working on it. We plugging away at it. We writing stuff almost every day, so I think it'll be out somewhere between now and 2021.
Nice. Just keep your ears ready.
Yeah.
Man, it's coming.
So Seduced by Suffering coming to you. What's your album gonna be called? You got a name yet? You don't want to tell it. See, I told y'all he
He
good. I told y'all he good with
He was
suspense.
dropping people's names, but don't want to drop the name of the album.
I ain't dropped nobody's name. I named like what? 2 people.
And they were critical names. One of them I had to stop. It had to be the Holy Ghost. Keep you. No.
I mean, you know, they'll be alright. I mean, they not on the radio, so they'll be cool. No,
It's been a beautiful process. Thank y'all for listening.
no. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Like,
Yo.
I'm trying to show love in some sort of way. Now, whether they take it as hate, that's on them. My intent is my intent.
I'm gonna end it on this note because there was one thing that you said that was very dope and inspirational. You said that you don't really listen to
Other people. Yeah, for the most part.
because you and I like that because what I got from that was the fact that you can honestly defend your music and say it's all original.
Yep.
Correct.
I didn't get this sound from nowhere,
Yes, sir.
nobody, or nothing. This is all me. I
Yes,
think
sir.
that is just.
Thank you, bro.
I think
Yes,
that is
sir.
great. So y'all heard it right here, bringing lyrics to life. This was an awesome encounter.
I wonder why.
Shout outs to our special guest co-host Reese Siren. shout out to our lovely interview and guest on tonight, Jhalil Seabron. Shout out to our live studio audience. We appreciate you, all of our fans and supporters. Listen, we appreciate y'all again. We would not be where we are and where we're going without you. So we appreciate you. Plug your stuff, man. Plug your social media, where they can find your music, all that good stuff.
Well, Apple Music, Spotify. Just type in Jhalil Seabron, and you know the two singles should come up.
We prefer you pay for it though.
Yeah, for sure.
Praise God. We don't get any money from downloads, so go ahead to iTunes and pay that 99 cent or
99
$1,
cent.
whatever
Come on,
it
y'all.
is, huh?
For sure. Instagram is JSEA 192.
Lord.
All night. You know what I'm saying? JSEA 192. You know what I mean? That's where you'll find me personally. And then K Builders with a Z is where you'll find the nonprofit stuff.
Awesome. Listen, we had it right here, bringing lyrics to life, Jhalil Seabron. Listen, y'all stay connected with us. Stay tuned. Every Saturday, we right here at 7 p.m. Go back, catch the replay on iHeartRadio, Apple, Spotify, Podbean, Anchor FM,
Name them all.
Google Podcasts.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, because
Tune it up.
they coming in. They coming in. They
We
gonna
here.
keep it coming. So, listen, y'all stay right with us, bringing lyrics to life. We out.